All right, how to get a 750 credit score in 2025. I'm gonna teach y'all how today in this video, or I'm gonna at least tell y'all what I know about it, what my personal experience is, some information that genuinely works, all that kind of stuff. No, this is not clickbait. This is not finesse. This is not nothing crazy. This is legit good credit information. Like and subscribe. Just stay focused. Don't pay attention to me. Pay attention to the message because it's true. It's really helpful information. Now, before you ask, how does he know anything about having a 750 credit score? Who is this dude? He's just some random dude on YouTube and he looks like a rapper or something. I got you. Don't worry about it. So, these are my personal credit scores, right? And my TransUnion score was higher. It was like 748 or something like that. It went down, it went back up. Credit scores are going to fluctuate a little bit. It went down 15 points, went up 6 points. It's going to go up a few more points in the next few days. They just do that. You can look at the dates. My Equifax, April 1st, that's today as I'm recording this video. My Equifax on April 1st is a 754. The dates are a little different, 31st, 24th. But I basically had three 750 credit scores within the last 30 days. And this is not somebody else's my FICO. This is not like I don't have nobody else's my FICO to log into. Like this is real. This is legitimate. You can click things on it. That's mine. Like that's my actual account, my actual profile. The reason the screen was weird like that is because I want to hide some of my personal information. I don't want to dox myself too much, but that's my FICO profile today. I have 750 credit scores today. So I am. If anybody's qualified to tell you how to get a 750 credit score, it is me. And again, a year ago I had horrible credit. A year ago my scores were in the 500s. Even less than a year, really. Like even mid last year, when I was building my credit, trying to get credit cards, but still trying to get rid of derogatories and shit. My credit scores were in the low 600s, 500s. Then I got to the mid 600s, and I was stuck in the mid 600s for a long time. It's a process, man. It really is. But I think depending on your situation and how it goes, within a year at most, because this took me in total from not doing anything to having a 750 credit score, took me just about a year. It might have been 13 total months, but I'm learning everything trial and error. I'm trying to teach it to you so you can do it faster than me. Facts. Just stay focused. Anyway, so how do you do it? What do you need to do? Blah 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 blah. A lot of people are gonna say, most of the credit gurus, people in the credit space are gonna say, first thing, get rid of all derogatories, get your credit sweep, get all the negatives off. That's the first thing you want to do. And while that's not untrue, that's not wrong to say. I think it leads people in the wrong direction because I think people start to think that in order to get good credit, I have to get rid of all the negative things. Like before I can build up my credit, before I can start to have, before I can get high limit credit cards, before I can build positive credit history, before I can do the good things, I need to get rid of the bad things. And that part is not true. So first, yes, you do want to get rid of all derogatories. You want to get rid of all negatives. If you don't know how to remove collections, right? Watch my video about removing collections from your credit report with the Equifax method. That works for all three credit bureaus. If that doesn't work for you, I don't know, get this video to like 1,000 views or something. I'll make a video on how to delete them for Experian and how to delete them for all three bureaus. I can do that, but I need to know that it's worth my time and that people are watching the content in order to do it. So, excuse my voice and my sickness. But that'll remove collections, which is one of the main negative things from your credit report. The Equifax method can remove basically anything negative from your credit report because you're using Equifax's personal admission of guilt to get the shit off your credit. If you need to get rid of inquiries, that is covered in that too. If you want to get inquiries removed from Experian, I have a video about that. That's super duper easy to do. So yeah, the negative things that are hurting your credit, you need to get removed. You just do. Um, but it's not the end all be all. I got a high limit credit card when I still had derogatory. I still had one collection on Experian, and I think I had two collections on TransUnion. And they pulled my Experian and TransUnion. My scores were in the 700s, and I still got a high limit credit card. So it's not, you know what I mean? And people talk all the time about Navy Federal being able to work with you depending on your situation. Build relationships with these banks. Go on these banks, get checking accounts, get a secure card if you need to. Like that type of shit will help. But anyway, yes, you do want to do that. But while you're removing the negatives from your credit report, while you're trying, right? Because you're gonna dispute these things. You're gonna wait 30 days. in the time that you're waiting to do this, don't do nothing. Like, keep building positive credit history. A lot of people will tell you go to Rent Reporters and Reno Karma, and that's true. Yes, get Rent Reporters, get Reno Karma, get BoomPay. Find any app or website that reports positive rent payment. Get like four of them shits. Get it, like, you know what I mean? And because it'll report on-time payments, you can backdate it up to 2 years. So you can put 2 years of on-time payments. On-time payments are a huge, it's 35% of your credit score. So if you have 100% payment history, 35% of your score is perfect. You're going to get all those points. So that's important too. You need to have really good payment history. Don't miss a payment ever. That's going to fuck your credit score up if you miss a payment. Do not miss a payment. Just don't do it. Pay everything on time. Pay the minimum. If you happen to miss a payment, call them and beg. Do whatever you got to do, but don't miss payments, because one missed payment can take your score like 100 points. One missed payment says, oh, you think about it. Credit is all about borrowing power. Your credit score is just your borrowing power. That's all it is. Where your credit score is a reflection of your credit report. And your credit report tells these banks and these lenders your borrowing power. Like, hey, can we give him this much money? Right? And will he pay it back? They want to know, will you pay the money back? Can you pay the money back? And are you willing to pay the money back? That's what they want to know. So that's what's important about that. So you need to make sure you have that in order. I damn near lost my train of thought. But anyway, yeah, so you want to get the derogatories, try to get those off, try to start building positive accounts, which is payment history. You want to make sure you have low utilization. So in order to have a high credit score, you need to use credit. You can't have a high credit score if you're not using any credit. So you need to have a credit card, or you need to have utilization of a credit card. There are apps you can use like Kickoff, there's like Ava, there's Stellify, there's Credit AI, which will, some of these apps will report that you have a credit limit and that you're spending a certain amount. Like Kickoff, if you pay $35 a month, they will report that you have a $3,500 credit limit and that you're spending like $300 on it, less than 10%, right? Or around 10%, whatever it is. That will tell the banks that your utilization of your available credit is low. Utilization is 30% of your credit score. You want your utilization under 10%. People are going to say 30%, 20%. You want it 10 or less, 10% or less. 10 is the highest. You want let's say you have real credit cards, you have $1,000 credit card, you don't want to show more than 10% usage. So when that statement closes, or when the statement closes, you want to show that you've paid all of it except $100. If you've showed that if you show that you have a balance of more than $100 on that card, it's gonna hurt your score. It just is. It's just the truth. So you want to have utilization, but you want that utilization to be 10% or less. This is also gonna help your score a shit ton. Again, people are gonna tell you 20%, 30% is fine. No, it's not fine. And again, it's all about what you report. You can use all the $1,000 of your $1,000 limit. In fact, you should use all if you want to get limit increases, the best way to get credit limit increases on credit cards is to use all of the amount and then immediately pay it all off. Use it all, immediately pay it all off. Use it all immediately, but that takes a lot of money. You need to have cash flow coming in to spend $1,000, pay it, spend $1,000, pay it. Like if you're waiting on your check in 2 weeks, that ain't really gonna work for you. But yeah, the point is to make sure when the day comes that it's time for them to report your spending or your balance, that you have a low balance on that date. So another thing is gonna help you. Another thing that is gonna help your credit score is credit mix, right? And I could pull up the FICO little tree or whatever to tell you, but I don't think that's really that helpful. It doesn't really matter. Credit mix is one thing. You just make sure you want to have installment loans. Sometimes your rent will report as an installment loan. If you have student loans and you're paying on them, you're kind of a sucker, but it helps your credit report. And it'll report as a loan, like having that installment loan. If you have a car note, if you have a mortgage, just basically having different types of credit instead of just credit card. Like, it shows that you can pay back different types of lenders. I think that's 15% of your score. That'll help. No, I believe that's 10%. The big 15% is credit age, but we'll get to credit age when we get to it. The other one is amount of new credit, which is basically inquiries. If you have a bunch of inquiries for credit, if you keep applying for shit, they can see it. When you apply for credit, no matter what it is, if you apply for a car, if you try to buy a car and you want a car note, then you're applying for a loan, which is, credit. So they're going to pull your credit. Anytime a bank or institution, a lender inquires about your credit report, they leave a hard inquiry on it. Some do soft inquiries, but a lot of times they do hard inquiries. Them hard inquiries stack up. You really shouldn't have in the past year. I can't justify I don't even want to say it like that. But if you got 10, 20, 30 inquiries, that's crazy. Get some of those removed. Again, I already spoke about how to get some of those removed with Experian, very easy. With TransUnion and Equifax, there's still a method to do that. Do a little FTC report. Might take a few more days. You might have to fight with it a little bit, but it generally works. Get some of those extra inquiries removed. Now, if the inquiry is tied to a open account, right? Let's say you have an inquiry or two inquiries, right? You want to get removed, right? You got too many, you want to get two of them removed. But those inquiries are from when they pulled your credit and gave you a credit card that you're using. Do not try to get those removed because it can get that credit card closed. Because if you're using a card, it's reporting to your credit. And then if that inquiry was removed, then long story short, it can fuck things up basically. So basically, they look. The inquiry is the proof that you were hard pulled and approved for that card. So then in the bank is they're reporting your spending to your credit report. So if they see that that's missing, it's like, whoa, what's going on here? So anyway, that's inquiries. Now let's talk about credit age. Credit age. This is the one thing that can really shoot your score up 50 points, 80 points, whatever points, or hold you back a little bit. And credit age is something that you really can't fudge. I mean, you definitely can fudge it, but it's not the most fun thing to fudge. So I'm going to give you a couple ways, right? Credit age. You only got credit cards when you got them. So if you're watching this and you're 18 years old, get a credit card. Even if it's a store card, a store card's probably better because it's not a real credit card. Get any type of credit card that reports to your credit reports, even if it's a Chime Credit Builder card, whatever. Get something because years down the line, you're going to be so happy you have the years of age. This is why student loans can help you too, because you get them at 18, and then 10 years later, you're like, fuck, man, these student loans, but they give you 10 years of age on your credit report, or 7, 8, how many years it is. But age is really hard to fudge. There's two ways that I would suggest you try to fudge. One I talked about earlier. Reporting rent on your credit report. You can backdate it 2 years. So Rent Reporters, Rental Karma, BoomPay, Credit Rent Boost, whatever rent reporting site you can or app you can find, backdate 2 years. Yes, this is gonna cost you money. That's another thing. It's not gonna be free to get a 750 credit score. It is. You can get a 750 credit score for free, but it's gonna take years. So if you want to do it in less than 2, 3, 4 years, it's gonna cost you a little bit of money. Backdating your rent is gonna be like $50 per app. But again, you do all this, then they're all going to put 2 years of payment history, 2 years of credit age on your profile. So your average age of account is going to increase. So instead of you having 3 new credit cards you just opened today, you have 4 rental accounts from 2 years ago that jump on your credit report. So your age is naturally older. That's going to balance out. It's going to average out with your new accounts, but the big equalizer for age is AU trade lines, authorized user trade lines. Now, don't use authorized user. This is my personal opinion. I wouldn't use authorized user trade lines for anything but age. Don't use them because you think they're going to give you like a credit limit increase or to give you this or that. Literally use them for age. The one thing that they guaranteed to this day, I promise you still work for, is age. They could work for other things. They might. But I'd rather not use them for those other things. You don't need to. And I don't know that it's guaranteed. I know that if you put an AU from 10 years ago or 20 years ago in your credit report, your credit age is going to fucking skyrocket. And that's what you need sometimes. Sometimes your credit score is 670, 680. And you're like, wow, I got positive accounts. I got no negatives. I got this, I got that. But my score is barely 680, barely 690. Why ain't I over 600? Probably need more skin in the game. They want to see that you've had credit for longer. They want to know that they can trust you. Like, if you've been only building your credit for a year, your average age of account is like a year or maybe even less than a year. It's like, yeah, your credit score looks good, but you're new. We don't really trust you yet. But then you add this 10, 15-year trade line. Now your age is 3, 4, 5 years. They're more likely to lend to you. And those things all together are the keys, bro. That's all you got to do to get a 750 credit score. I know I said a lot, and then I said it's all you got to do. But again, get rid of all the negatives. Have no charge-offs, collections, late payments, none of that type of shit. Make sure your payment history is perfect, so you never miss a payment, right? Make sure your utilization is under 10%. See if you can get some good credit mix, having different type of payments, mortgage, installment loans, like credit cards, stuff like that. That'll help too. Make sure you don't have a ton of recent inquiries. If the inquiries are from more than 2 years old, they don't hurt that much, but still get them shits removed if you can. And then age. You know, age is the last thing I would worry about because, again, it's harder to fudge age. And if you want to get authorized user trade lines to increase your age, they're going to cost you money. And they're going to cost you more money than all this other shit. You're going to pay 500, 600, 700. If you're lucky, 3 or 400. But you're going to pay a few hundred for those AU trade lines. Some people don't want to pay that. I totally understand it, but some people it's worth it to pay $500 to get a 750 credit score instead of a 690 because now I can get approved for a credit card that's worth $1,000, $2,000, $4,000, $5,000, because I paid this 500. But some people don't see it that way. But anyway, that is how you get a 750 credit score in 2025 from somebody who just proved and showed you he has a 750 credit score. How many of these credit gurus and people are going to show you their personal credit scores this year? Exactly. So like and subscribe. The more y'all watch the videos, the more y'all like and subscribe, the more I'll put out videos. I got a ton of more information, a ton of more content I can do and want to do, but I want to make sure y'all are staying focused and y'all are locked in. Yeah, so that's all I got for y'all today. Y'all stay safe. I'm out.